You've been overlooked, ignored, laughed at behind your back. Maybe they judged your quiet nature, your slow rise, or your humble beginnings. And now, they think they've figured you out. They haven't. This video is your comeback code. Not the kind that screams revenge or loud transformation, but the Stoic kind, the silent rise, the internal empire. We'll walk through how to use their doubt, their neglect, and their assumptions not just to prove them wrong, but to become so disciplined, so grounded, so sharp that the only thing they'll say in the end is, "I never saw it coming." If you've been ignored, judged, or dismissed, good, welcome to your advantage. Now let's begin. The world is loud with opinions. They look at your clothes, your job, your background, your silence, and they decide who you are, without asking, without knowing. But the Stoics taught one vital truth. You are not what they say you are only what you do. And how you respond, Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That includes how you react to judgment, to doubt, to being overlooked. When they underestimate you, they are revealing more about themselves than about you. Their assumptions are built on ego, not observation. And if you take their words to heart, if you start to shrink yourself to fit their view, you've given away your power. The Stoic response: don't explain, don't argue, transcend. Let them mock your silence. Let them assume you're finished, because, while they're watching the surface, you're sharpening your sword in the shadows. You're learning, training, strengthening. Quietly, consistently. You don't need to convince anyone. You just need to keep going, because identity isn't something handed to you by others. It is something you craft from the inside out. So the next time they try to define you, remember, their words are not your reflection. Your discipline is. The Stoic comeback begins by detaching from noise and remembering who you are when no one else sees it. The quiet power of preparation. They think you're not ready. That's fine. You're not performing for them. You're preparing for something greater. The Stoics believed in mastery without spectacle. No fanfare, no attention, just deliberate, quiet preparation day after day, because, while others chase applause, the wise build strength in private. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor surrounded by noise, wrote in his Meditations, "Don't waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is not the actions of others that disturb us, but our own judgments about them." In other words, don't worry about who's watching. Worry about who you're becoming. The reason they underestimate you is simple. They don't see the hours you put in when no one is looking. They see silence. You're doing inner work, and they mistake it for weakness. But the Stoic doesn't need the world's permission to evolve. He sharpens his mind through reading, reflection, and restraint. He strengthens his body through movement and effort, not to impress, but to endure. He disciplines his emotions so when the storm hits, he doesn't flinch. This is the quiet power of preparation. You're not showing off, you're showing up every morning, every night, without applause, without Instagram, without ego, and when the moment comes when life demands strength, clarity, or courage, you'll move like lightning, not because you're loud, but because you're ready. Let them sleep on you. Let them talk. Your only job is to prepare like your future depends on it, because it does. Let your work speak. You don't have to shout your greatness. You just have to do the work and let that echo louder than any words. The Stoic doesn't argue for recognition. He doesn't clap back at critics. Why? Because his actions do the speaking, and that voice carries further than any clever reply ever could. Seneca wrote, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." In other words, don't talk about your potential. Don't announce your goals. Just move, just build, just execute. We live in a world obsessed with display, likes, followers, validation. But Stoicism calls you inward. It teaches you to value progress over praise, and to find fulfillment in effort, not approval. The reason they keep underestimating you is because you're not loud about your grind. Good, stay that way. Let your discipline be invisible. Let your success sneak up on them. Let your results be undeniable. They'll wonder how you did it, how you got so far without ever making noise. But you'll know you chose the path of action, not attention. A Stoic doesn't say, "Look what I've done." A Stoic just does it and keeps walking. So from now on, when they underestimate you, don't waste time trying to convince them. Just keep building, keep showing up, keep sharpening, because nothing speaks louder than consistent action. And nothing silences doubt like undeniable results. Use their doubt as fuel. Their doubt is not your weakness, it's your ignition. Let them doubt. You'll use it to burn brighter. When someone underestimates you, they think they've placed a limit on your potential. But what they've really done is hand you a gift: energy, fuel, fire. The Stoics never sought revenge in the traditional sense. They didn't waste time trying to hurt those who hurt them. Instead, they turned pain into purpose, doubt into discipline. Every insult became a stepping stone. Every rejection, a challenge accepted. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, don't stoop to their level, rise above it, quietly, relentlessly. They think you're not good enough. Good. Let that push you to train harder, study deeper, grow sharper. They assume you're not a threat. Perfect. Let their complacency be your cover. You don't need anger. You need clarity. Don't scream. Don't beg. Don't prove. Transform. Let their doubt echo in your head every time you feel tired, every time you want to quit. Let it drive you past the limits they placed on you. The Stoic doesn't fight back with words. He fights back with consistency. He fights back by becoming so prepared, so grounded, so undeniable that the world can't ignore him anymore. So the next time they doubt you, smile. You've just been handed fuel. Now burn. Control what you can. Let the rest burn. They talk, they judge, they whisper. But none of that is yours to carry. What you control is who you become. The rest? Let it burn. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is this: you don't control what people think. You don't control how they treat you. But you do control your choices, your discipline, your focus, your comeback. Epictetus put it plainly. Some things are up to us, and some are not. When they underestimate you, it's easy to spiral, wondering, why don't they see me? What did I do wrong? How do I prove myself? But all of that is noise. Distraction. Ego. The Stoic warrior doesn't beg for understanding. He pours his energy into the one thing that matters: his own mind, his own habits, his own path. So, what do you control? Your morning routine, even when no one's watching. Your response to failure, turning it into fuel. Your daily effort, the silent bricks that build a legacy. Your temper, calm in a world that provokes chaos. Everything else, let it burn. Let their gossip burn. Let their judgment burn. Let their low expectations turn to ash behind you. Because while they waste time watching, you're moving forward silently, consistently, and one day, when they finally look up, they'll see what you built. But by then, it won't be for them. It never was. It was for you. Control your effort. Control your integrity. Control your mind. Everything else, let it burn. Rise without announcing it. A lion doesn't tell the jungle it's back. It moves in silence, and everything around it adjusts. Your rise doesn't need a headline. It needs discipline. We live in an era of overexposure. Everyone's announcing their next move, broadcasting their grind, advertising their transformation. But Stoicism teaches a different path, one of silent ascension. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the most powerful empire of his time, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. No announcements, no declarations, just action." Real power doesn't advertise itself. When you're truly growing spiritually, mentally, physically, you don't have time for applause. You're too busy becoming, so rise, quietly, daily. Unseen. Let them sleep on you. Let them believe nothing's changing. While they rest, you build. While they talk, you train. And one day, without warning, your presence will shake the room. You won't need to say, "I told you so." Your composure, your confidence, your consistency that will say it all. This is the Stoic way. Rise without revenge, improve without permission, succeed without spectacle. Because when you move in silence, nothing can interfere. You become unstoppable not by force, but by focus. So stop announcing your rise. Live it. Let them discover it too late. When they notice, stay silent. They'll start watching, whispering, wondering how you did it. But the Stoic response is simple. Say nothing. Just keep moving. The moment will come when they notice, when the same people who dismissed you begin to lean in, when their tone shifts, when curiosity replaces mockery. They'll ask, "How did you get so disciplined? When did you change? Why didn't you say anything?" The ego wants to answer, to gloat, to explain every step. But the Stoic, he stays silent. As Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, and when the results come, stay content still." You owe no one an explanation for your growth. Your grind was yours alone. The late nights, sacrifices, the inner battles they'll never understand. Let them think it was overnight. Let them believe it was luck. You know the truth, and that's enough. Because when you begin to rise, your silence becomes your armor. It keeps you grounded, focused, humble, in a world addicted to attention. Your silence will make them uncomfortable. Good. That's power. That's poise. That's Stoicism in motion. So when they finally notice, don't break character. Nod, smile, walk away, keep building. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were never doing it for them. The Stoic comeback code in daily life. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy. It's a daily practice, a lifestyle, a silent comeback that never ends. It's one thing to be inspired by Stoic words. It's another to live them in the routine of ordinary life, in the silence between achievements, in the face of everyday doubt. The Stoic comeback isn't a one-time moment. It's a discipline, a daily return to yourself. So, how do you apply the Stoic code in the real world? Here's the framework. Start the day with stillness. Don't reach for your phone. Reach inward. Marcus Aurelius began each morning reminding himself of who he was, what the day might bring, and how he'd respond with calm. Journal your thoughts. Like Epictetus taught, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Write down what triggers you, where your energy is going, what you can let go of. Do the work quietly. Build systems. Improve one thing daily. Seek progress over perfection. Let others chase glory. You chase growth. Don't explain. Don't defend. If they underestimate you, fine. Your energy is not for convincing, it's for creating, for becoming. Detach from outcomes. You control the effort, not the results. Success may come or not. Either way, you remain steady because who you are is no longer tied to applause. Daily Stoic comeback mindset. Ignore noise. Stay consistent. Keep promises to yourself. Let your progress whisper. Because at the end of the day, the Stoic comeback isn't about showing the world what you've become. It's about becoming someone even you once underestimated. Conclusion. Become the person they never saw coming. They underestimated you. Let that be the last mistake they ever make, because you've become someone even you didn't expect. They looked past you, mocked your silence, ignored your presence, but you didn't flinch. You didn't beg. You built, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. That's the Stoic comeback. Not fueled by anger but by purpose. Not loud but lethal. Not desperate to be seen but impossible to ignore. And now, you're stronger, sharper, calmer. You've mastered the only thing that matters, yourself. Remember what Marcus Aurelius wrote. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Their doubt didn't stop you. It shaped you. Their silence didn't crush you. It trained you. Their judgment didn't define you. It revealed who you are not and forced you to discover who you truly are. So don't chase validation. Don't break your silence for applause. Let your presence do the talking. Be the one who rises slowly, silently, and unmistakably. Not for revenge, not for recognition, but because you now understand the truth. The reason they underestimated you was the very reason you won. Now walk calm, clear, disciplined into your next chapter. Let the world adjust. You don't have to.